New merch, DKO Energy. You guys can go get it. Click the link in the bio on our Twitter, ATD23, 10% off. Let's go. Monnie from ATD Podcast, Bull Glamour Filter Friday. Let's review Smackdown, shall we? Let's get it. Let's go. So I got 10 minutes on the clock, and I got a lot of points to make. As you guys know, if you didn't tune in last week, you missed it. Knight, LA Knight, Los Angeles Knight, as SM refers to him, is now our new United States champion. Well, he's in the ring, you know, he's talking about his next opponent, and out comes Jimison. Jim Uso, Big Jim Jimison. Jimison comes out and he tells LA Knight, you know, he wants a match, he wants a title shot. He's running out of stuff. He really has no other choice. He has nothing left to do. You know, he has nothing to put his name on. I love this. I love the fact that Jimmy is wanting to carve his own path, wanting to make his own way. I love the fact that he's actually wearing Naomi's colors. No, he is not turning heel. He's only been babyface for a few months. They're not going to turn him that quick. Come on now. But I do love the fact that he expressed his feelings and his desperation for what he wants. Next slide. Out comes Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, and Jacob Fatu. Solo Sikoa comes out and he makes this big statement about how Jimmy is a failure to the family, to which, next slide, Jimmy tells Solo that didn't you lose a whole bunch of times and didn't you get pinned by the tribal chief for the Ulafala and you haven't acknowledged him yet? More to come on that later. That leads to everybody getting in the ring and attacking LA Knight and Jimmy Uso. Of course, that brings us to Braun Strowman, who comes out, and Nick Aldis comes out, and they have a 6-man tag match. Next slide. Jimmy, Knight, and Braun Strowman win, beating Bloodline 2.0. I don't know if we're calling them that anymore, but that's Bloodline 2.0 still to me. Bloodline 2.0, they lost, and of course, they start beating up on LA Knight. Solo and chases LA Knight out of the building, while Jimmy gets super kicked by Jacob, and he proceeds to beat the crap out of Braun Strowman, thus putting moonsaults on him, about 2 of them. And yeah, this is a continuance. Next slide. Jade Cargill has an interview with Kathy Kelly, and she had said something in her interview that caused my spider senses to tingle and my eyebrows to raise, caught brain on. She said that she got hit in the back of the head. And when she came to, before she passed out while being on the hood of the car, she said she saw Naomi run away. Now, Naomi admitted to doing it. I know she did. But I like to bring things up and to remind people of things that happened in the past. Next slide. Raw 2000, Stone Cold Steve Austin, about a year prior, got hit by an automobile. And he was out for months at a time. Well, there was a whole whodunit who ran over Stone Cold Steve Austin. As it turned out, it was Rikishi who did it. And Rikishi, when asked why he did it, he said he did it for The Rock. He did it for the people. Well, here's the funny thing about this. Rikishi did it for The Rock, did it for the people. But here's the other thing. It later got revealed that Rikishi didn't do this for The Rock or for the people. He did it for Triple H. Triple H was the culprit the whole time. So that brings me to this weird conclusion. Next slide. When Jade said she saw Naomi run away, of course, Naomi admitted to doing it. If you admit to doing something, I don't deny that you did it. But here's the other thing. I don't think Naomi did it by herself. Jade is a very strong woman. Yeah, you can attack her from behind, but she's going to fight back. Even if she's been clobbered in the back of the head. But also, by the way, she was on the hood of the car. Not face down, face up. So that leads me to the conclusion of, how did you wind up face up if you got hit in the back of the head? More to come on that later. I hate this blonde on blonde crime. I'm lying. I love it. It's auntie versus daughter. I absolutely adore this. You know what? I keep saying this, and I've said it in space over and over again. This WrestleMania is the battle of who wants the main event of night one. Who is going to get that spot? Everybody is contending for it. Meet the next contender. Finally, they step their game up. Next slide. Child, this is disrespectful. You threw the title up in the air and then caught it. Just so damn disrespectful to this title. You know what? I firmly believe it in my heart and soul that you're going to walk out of WrestleMania 41 still champion, but you're going to be a bad guy. I know everybody's thinking John Cena's going to get 17. I'm going to be on record and say he's not getting 17. Like I've said to everybody how everybody thinks that Rock and Roll was going to happen at 41. It's not. It's 42, guys. They got to build this one. Trust me. You're going to love it. But to see this, I firmly believe Cody's walking out as champion of 41. I will die on that hill. 10 toes down. Next. Yo, did Drew and Shinsuke become best friends all of a sudden? Cool. Next slide. And Kevin and Randy fought some more. Good on them. But y'all know this WrestleMania story between Randy and Kevin is going to be about Randy punting Kevin in the head. He going to kick this man in the head. Next slide. Happy Roman Reigns Day, everybody. I just want to say this. Paul Heyman comes out and he tells everybody that it's Roman Reigns Day. And there are certain people that are unhappy that it's Roman Reigns Day. And one of them is his best friend, CM Punk, which everybody cheers and chants CM Punk. The other one is Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins. He's not happy about it, and everybody sings a Seth Rollins song. Paul Heyman says, well, if anybody has a problem with that, Roman is going to be in Bologna, Italy for Smackdown next week. CM Punk, of course, is on, I think, Instagram, TikTok, one of them, Twitter, whatever. He's on one of those apps, and he's making memes. He's making videos of himself with the dog face on. Very childish, but also, y'all do know Seth is going to come out, and y'all going to run y'all. It's going to be on site for both of y'all with Seth. Y'all both want to fight him. Y'all want to fight each other. I would prefer you guys to just start flailing fists around, but you know what? It's time for Roman to cut his teeth on a promo with CM Punk. Let's go. Next slide. He is not going to turn. It is too early for that when he just became babyface. He is not going to do it. Next slide. Finally, Triple H, you are not ever escaping these allegations. But congrats to the Street Profits. The show was kind of meh. I mean, the only thing that I have to say about the show is the crowd carried it. There's a reason why they're doing all of these international shows, and this is why. I'm happy that they won. You know, finally they got the titles off of DIY. What are we going to do next? Let's go. And with that being said, please be sure to drink your water. For the love of God, watch your back for chair shots. Acknowledge your OTC, Roman Reigns, and acknowledge Dynasty. Last but not least, I know we're all kikiing and laughing and having a good time, but I just want to remind you all, please, and this is me being the canary in the coal mine, do some stretches and get you some DKO energy because we're in for a ride. Let's get in. Good night, everyone.